Kimchi has arrived in the Western food consciousness with a velocity that would have seemed implausible 15 years ago. The U.S. kimchi market is expected to reach $140 million by 2026, and the fermented Korean staple has migrated from Korean grocery store shelves into upscale restaurant menus, burger toppings, taco fillings, and the refrigerators of people who had never visited a Korean restaurant before watching a documentary about microbiome health. That microbiome connection is what this article needs to examine honestly, because the science behind fermented food and gut health is genuinely interesting, but also genuinely complex. And the distance between research findings and marketing claims in this space is considerable. Kimchi is produced through lactofermentation, a process in which naturally occurring lactic acid bacteria on Napa cabbage and other vegetables metabolize sugars, producing acids that preserve the food and populate it with live bacterial cultures. A properly fermented kimchi can contain significant concentrations of Lactobacillus plantarum, Lactobacillus brevis, Leuconostoc mesenteroids, and other strains with documented probiotic activity. A landmark 2021 study published in a high-profile journal found that a diet high in fermented foods, including kimchi, increased microbiome diversity and reduced markers of systemic inflammation more effectively than a high-fiber diet alone. Over a 10-week period, a finding that generated substantial scientific and popular interest. The probiotics survive digestion question is where gastroenterologists tend to apply appropriate skepticism. The stomach is an acidic, hostile environment for bacteria, and different strains have dramatically different survival rates. Research indicates that Lactobacillus plantarum, one of the dominant organisms in well-fermented kimchi, is relatively acid-tolerant and does reach the large intestine in meaningful numbers. Others do not fare as well. Whether the specific organisms that survive the transit produce health effects meaningful enough to justify the clinical claims circulating in wellness content is an ongoing area of research rather than a settled scientific conclusion. A more immediately measurable concern with kimchi is sodium content. A typical serving contains 500 to 700 milligrams of sodium, a significant contribution toward the recommended daily limit of 2,300 milligrams. For individuals managing hypertension or chronic kidney disease, treating kimchi as a health food consumed liberally ignores a real dietary variable that their physicians would likely want factored into the equation. The capsaicin in kimchi, which provides its characteristic heat, offers some cardiovascular and metabolic benefits through its own pathways, but it can also aggravate gastroesophageal reflux disease and irritable bowel syndrome in susceptible individuals. There is also a product authenticity problem that mirrors what other fermented foods face commercially. Much of the kimchi sold in mass-market grocery stores is pasteurized after fermentation, a process that extends shelf life and enables ambient storage, but kills the live bacterial cultures that are the entire basis for the gut health claims. Pasteurized kimchi in a shelf-stable jar is not a probiotic food, it is a fermented flavored condiment. The distinction is fundamental, and it is almost never made clearly on product labeling. Refrigerated kimchi from Korean markets or specialty producers that has not been heat-treated is where the actual live culture content lives.